Hello everyone and welcome to Retail Archaeology. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to make what we're calling the 8-bit Super Bowl of dip for the big game. We have to say big game because we can't say the name of the game, the thing it is, but we're going to make a Super Bowl of dip. It's a little recipe that we kind of riff off of a existing McCormick's recipe that everybody knows. And we're going to eat a Super Bowl of chips. With that dip.
That's a Super Bowl.
That's a Super Bowl for sure. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make that, and then we're gonna check out some Tecmo Bowl, which is some more 8-bit fun on top of our 8-bit Super Bowl of dip. It should be fun. So let's take a trip to. Well, we already went to Food City and got the ingredients, but we filmed some footage while we're there. So let's go check out Food City, and then we'll come back and prepare this awesome dip. I can't wait to show you guys. And then yeah, we'll check out some Tecmo Bowl. Before we explore Food City, I did want to bring up that bit you heard about us checking out Tecmo Bowl. That's actually going to happen in a second video over on my second channel because this video just ended up being way too long. So yeah, this is Food City, one of my favorite grocery stores, and the first ingredient we're going to grab is cilantro. Dude. Well, I guess we're getting that one. So you think two? Our recipe also calls for limes. Now if you haven't already figured it out, Food City kind of targets the Hispanic demographic of Arizona. Should be good. Our recipe also calls for guacamole, which we decided to make fresh, but we actually had a hard time finding ripe avocados. Darker ones are usually more ripe, right? I'm going to go ahead and speed up the footage for us looking for avocados because we looked for a long time. We only needed like 4 or 5 and we found almost what we needed right away, but then it took forever to find that last one. I gotta tell you, Mark was super excited when we finally found it. He found it?
Found it.
Look at all those peppers. Our recipe actually calls for olives, but we're going to substitute a pepper and chili medley because olives are gross.
Jalapeno.
There's some jalapenos. Just get whatever you're going to get and then we'll bag them up. I mean, they're all... One of those. Oh, serranos. We used pasilla in that other cooking video we did. Another interesting fact about Food City is it's actually owned by Bash's, who also owns AJ's Fine Food. So they own all 3 of those grocery stores in Arizona. That should be enough to replace the olives, right? Okay.
Be the base of the pepper, so it's not all just heat.
Okay. Out of Bash's, AJ's, and Food City, I've got to say Food City is probably my favorite. I just love the theming of their stores. Things like the tile there around the cooler cases. That just really reminds me of grocery stores when I was a kid. We're going to grab some sour cream here because that's another layer of the 8-bit Super Bowl of dip we're making. Here's a look at the meat case, and one of the layers of our dip is going to be actually carne asada, and as you can see here they even have marinated meats, including marinated carne asada meat, but I'm actually going to make my own. The meat counter is another thing that I really do like about Food City. They've just got a ton of interesting things. We're going to go with some of this meat over here, and believe it or not, it's called beef flap. Doesn't that sound appetizing? Believe it or not, though, it is actually a really good cut of meat. When we're done with it, it's going to be amazing. Do you think I need that much meat, or do you think I could get I should probably just get that, huh? Beef flap. But no, really though, trust me, it is really good. It grills fantastically on the barbecue. Now, another one of our layers is going to be beans, refried beans, and we decided to buy them fresh from the deli counter over here on the other side of the store. This is another one of my favorite things about Food City because all of this stuff is actually really amazing. The fried chicken is great.
There's just a much bigger deli here than grocery stores normally have. And of course they have all kinds of Mexican food. There's stuff to make burritos and tacos that you can order. And they've even got things like menudo. And people say the menudo here is actually really good. I've never tried it. I have tried the tamales though, and those are fantastic. They also have fresh horchata over here, and of course we've got to get that since we're over here. But like I said, I really do enjoy coming to Food City. Unfortunately, there's not one super close to my house. I used to live close to this one, but I just love this store. Look at all the lawn ornaments and stuff up there. There's just all kinds of neat things to look at. They also make fresh tortillas here over in the bakery. You can see the equipment over there in the background that they use to do that. But also, all of their pastries and stuff are fantastic here as well. They have things like sopapillas and stuff. It's just amazing. Now, we're actually going to grab our tortilla chips for the dip here as well. They have fresh tortilla chips that they make. And they've got these giant bags that are actually a pretty good deal, and they're fantastic chips. They're like Mexican food restaurant style. I will tell you too, this bag of chips ended up lasting me a very long time. I was eating it for well over a week. But yeah, that was our trip to Food City. Like I said, I really do enjoy this store, and on the way out I just wanted to kind of show these off because this is another thing I remember from going to the grocery store as a kid, but I don't see them in a lot of grocery stores anymore, these quarter machines, but they've got a bunch of them here at Food City. Even as an adult, I was kind of tempted to get some of this crap, but I didn't have any change on me. But I mean, look, man, they've got toilet putty. Everybody needs some toilet putty.
So this is how I do carne asada. I get the beef flap steak, and I brush it with some, I usually use peanut oil, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use vegetable oil. And I season it with this adobo seasoning, and I also put chopped cilantro in between every layer, and I put it in a marinating dish and let it sit like that, you know, for a couple of hours usually. And then when I'm barbecuing it, I squirt some lime juice on it. I don't do it beforehand because if you do it beforehand, the acid in the lime juice actually starts cooking the meat, so I don't do that until the very end. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started on that. And here we are rinsing the cilantro. We didn't show us rinsing the ingredients on camera in the last cooking video we did, so people accused us of not doing that. So there you are. Alright, so now we're going to chop the cilantro. Mark's going to do that with his fancy knife. Holy crap, that's sharp. You can hear my dog barking in the background.
Yeah, I love this.
Alright, so then here's what I do. I take a piece of the beef flap, which you'll see the name here, why it's a good name in a second, because it's like a big flap of beef. And then I will just take some vegetable oil and kind of brush it on. You don't need to use a ton, just get enough. You can see how the meat kind of looks like it's glistening now.
Oh, that marbling. Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's
so
a nice piece of meat.
this cut of meat is called beef flap. Oh, that's a little bit heavy on that part, but whatever. It'll be good. It's called beef flap, which sounds super unappetizing, but it's actually... I'll take some cilantro here. It's actually a really good cut of beef, and the reason why you don't see it a lot is I looked it up on the internet because I was like, where in the heck does beef flap come from? So I'm going to flip this upside down because I do like every side. Butchers a lot of times keep this cut for themselves because they know it's good. They know it doesn't look great, and the cut's got like a not very appetizing name, but it's really good. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with it. Like I said, I use it for carne asada. I think that's what a lot of people use it for. It used to be much cheaper than it was. I think we paid $11 for this.
Just look at this right here. The marbling right there. So much flavor.
So for $11, you get a couple of flaps. I'm gonna brush this. And your hands will get messy doing this. You want to make sure that after you're done, you have easy access to a sink.
I'm just gonna season this on here so that I can then. I love this adobo seasoning too. And I'm gonna put, I'm a big fan of cilantro, so I'm gonna put a little bit on this side, even though I know it's not gonna, it's kind of a gross feeling meat, look at that. But I'm telling you, that's gonna,
Chicken's the worst.
raw chicken is the worst, you're absolutely right. Oh, I forgot to oil this side.
Look at you.
I know, and I do this all the time. And this was just something I came up with. I wanted to make carne asada tacos. So I was like, how would I do it? And at Food City, where we were at, where we bought all this stuff, if you look in that marinated meat part in there, they have pre-marinated carne asada meat. I don't think...
It's good.
It's good,
really good,
but it's not as good as this.
No.
And I've talked to the butcher there before, and I've told him how I do it, and he thinks how I do it is better, so. And it's very simple to do. Like I said, I'm not claiming to be a food person, but it's just the oil helps the seasoning really stick to it and get into the meat.
Holds that flavor in there.
That's already got enough cilantro on that side, I think. And then, yeah, we'll just do one more brush. Okay, so the recording cut out on us, but like I was saying, ideally you want to let this sit in the fridge for a couple of hours to kind of chill out. Like I've done it overnight before, that's usually how I do it, but we're going to go ahead and put saran wrap over this, let it sit in the fridge for a couple of hours, clean up our workstation, and we'll get the other stuff ready for this. So I don't like using any lighter fluid or anything like that, so I have one of these cool charcoal chimneys to start my fire. So basically you put your charcoal in here. There's a section down here you load with newspaper, something that burns easily. Mine's pretty banged up. I need to get a new one. It's falling apart. You do have to kind of replace them because it gets very hot, but I think it works a lot better. So you just light it in a couple of spots.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then the newspaper will light underneath there, and it takes about 10-15 minutes or so, and it gets your charcoal started. Then you just dump it out and put your grill on. Does produce a lot of smoke at first, though, unfortunately. All right, we're gonna put the meat on the grill. I didn't realize how dark it was getting, how quickly. So this stuff grills pretty quickly. You just want to get it on there as flat as possible. Oh, see, I wish... Come on. I wish smell-o-vision was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
You smell it?
Oh, yeah.
Get our last flap. No, the lighting's not great, but get in there. Yeah, so while those are grilling, let's go make some guacamole. Alright, so we are making guacamole. We could have got... That is the tiniest little thing I've ever seen in there.
Oh, they're still so hard.
Oh no, okay, well hopefully
I
we
think
can
that was the
power
hard one.
through
This one's going right in.
We could have brought prepared guacamole, but we decided to make it fresh.
It's always better.
It is always better.
It was a struggle finding these, though.
It was a struggle finding like any that were. They were all like river rock hard, most of them. I don't think it's the right time of year for avocados, is why.
No, but... Whoop.
You can't even get into it.
My knife's too sharp.
Oh yeah, look at that. You're like wrecking it. So now you're scoring it just to make it easier to get out of the
Yep.
shell.
Get it out of there. But I pulled that spoon out, so I'm just gonna scoop this out.
Nice. All right, so we flipped the beef flaps over, and we're just grilling the other side. And like I said, I wish there was such a thing as smell-o-vision, because these smell fantastic.
Spooning it out.
And you just scoop it out with a spoon. Nice. So this is one of the things we're changing for our 8-bit Super Bowl of dip. Is normally one of the 7 layers in a 7-layer dip is olives.
Gross.
Olives are gross. Olives are nasty. So we're going to replace the olives with a medley of chilies and peppers that we bought here at Food City. And Mark is in the process of getting the seeds out of the... Are those the... Which ones are those?
These are gonna be the green chilies.
The green chilies. And then we've got jalapenos there.
Jalapeno,
Serrano, and then green bell pepper, just to kind of cut some of the heat a little bit. But yeah, this is what we'll be replacing the olives with, because this is way better than olives.
So much better. A little bit of flavor, a little bit of heat.
So now you're cutting slits in them,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna just chop them.
Oh, you'll see. These little slits, I keep the end here so it keeps them together. It's so easy to dice it this way. Learned that trick years ago.
Nice. Nice. This is the green pepper trick.
The green pepper trick, cutting that. Box shape on it.
I never would have thought to do it that way.
Boom.
Nice.
That's your trash. You got that.
Just kind of dump out the rest of the seeds. I do it a little bit.
The rind out.
I
That's
usually-
a little bitter.
I usually cut around the stem in like a circle and pull that out, and a lot of that piece will mostly come out, that core in the middle.
Yeah.
And then I kind of cut it. I cut the bottom off too, and then I'll flatten it, flatten it out and chop it into strips and then dice it if I need to. But that seems really efficient doing it that way.
That was the way to do it, and then boom.
Nice. All right, so Mark got all of the peppers and chilies chopped up, so they're all mixed up in that bowl. And now we're doing the green onions and
breaking
tomatoes.
rubber bands.
You broke a rubber band. And look, I did rinse it off. You can see it's wet. All of the produce has been rinsed off. And here is the meat. I just pulled this off the grill. Jesus, Mark. I didn't show Mark doing that, so clearly he sneezed all over the food. But here's the meat that we're gonna chop up and put into the carne asada. That's just fresh off the grill. I said I wish there was such a thing as smell-o-vision, because my God, that smells good. So while Mark's getting the rest of the fresh ingredients prepared, I'm going to turn my attention to the cheese. And I'm gonna grate some cheese. Ta-da, shredded cheese. There's Coco, scouting out what we're doing. Back to looks like we got the nice. We got the onions all cut up now. Just gotta do the tomatoes, and then we get to assemble our dip. I think.
I'm crying because Eric beats me when the camera's off.
I think the onions got to Mark. Kind of wanted to watch that knife cut through tomatoes. That's such a sharp knife. I feel like that'd be super satisfying. Nice. Now we are chopping up the carne asada meat. And Mark got himself a boo-boo. Cutting up the tomatoes. I like your... Crap, which Disney movie is that? No, it's not called Feelings. I forget what it's called now.
Colors?
No, that's not right.
I'll look up what it is and put it in the video, like down in the text or whatever. I can't remember. Yeah, we're cutting up all the meat. We've got, like I said, 3 flaps. We want to chop that up pretty small. That looks so good.
I'm about to try this right
Yeah,
now.
we're gonna have to taste it for sure. As a matter of fact. Yeah, now that you got the knife away from there. Oh geez, that's a big piece. Come on, focus on the meat. There we go. That's good.
That's delicious. That is delicious.
Oh my god, I want to bury my face in that. That's gonna be good. Super tender, super flavorful. It's so good. Alright, so now we are finally making the guacamole. So Mark's mashing up the avocados. And we're gonna put some lime juice in there. Some salt, pepper, and what is that, garlic powder?
A little bit of it.
So we'll let Mark go to town on that. And then we're just about ready to assemble the dip.
A little bit of that lime juice in there.
So the lime juice, I mean, it makes it taste good too, but then that also keeps it from browning so quickly too, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It kind of slows down the oxidation. Some of that.
Pepper.
Pepper. Salt. Touch of garlic powder.
Nice, and just mix that all up. Good?
That's some good guacamole.
Sweet.
That's good guacamole. All those peppers.
So yeah, we're gonna just do a quick saute of all the little pepper medley that we made. There's some oil and butter in the pan.
The recipe said to use olives.
Olives are gross.
They're so gross.
That's where it's at.
Oh,
Peppers.
No.
Yeah, I wish you guys could smell that too.
I just kind of want to soften these up to the consistency of like what they would want. the
Yeah,
olives
like a
to be.
canned olive, yeah. Oh, it smells delicious. Alright, so there is everything we need to assemble our 8-bit Super Bowl of dip. It's our take on a 7-layer dip. So we've got a lot of your standard stuff, like you've got your cheese, got a Super Bowl of chips there. And then we've got, the guacamole, the sour cream, tomatoes and green onions. Instead of olives, like we mentioned, because olives are nasty, we are doing like a medley of peppers and chilies that we bought that are all chopped up, and then we sauteed them a little bit just to kind of cook them and get some. So they're about the same consistency of a canned olive. Ugh, gross. We've got our beans, and then the extra layer, we're adding our carne asada meat. Look at that meat mountain there. So yeah, I think we just need to let the peppers cool off for a few minutes, and then we will be ready to assemble our dip. All right, beans.
Beans in there.
Layer of beans. Ooh, is this gonna be enough, you think?
Oh yeah. It's a pound of beans.
Oh, look at that. We just want to get a. Whoops. I feel like I should have grabbed a bigger spatula.
I think that looks good. So you did that.
All right, yeah, that's a good layer of beans, I think. All right,
Layer of beans.
let me just
I'm thinking the meat.
meat next.
I think meat next.
Meat next. Okay. Dude, there's still a lot of beans in that spatula. All right, we'll just kind of start sprinkling it in. I don't know if we need to use all of it.
Well, no, there's got to be something for us to munch on.
Why have all those chips and all that cheese? Like, I would want to make nachos with this.
Right?
I'll have to wash. Oh, you know, okay, so that's a pretty good layer, right? There, get a little bit more in there. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, now what?
This already looks amazing.
I know, I already wanted to start dunking chips into this. We're not even anywhere. Should we put all the cheese? Probably.
All of it.
All the cheese.
Well, you only did half of it, so
Well, because this is the right amount that the recipe called for.
you don't have to follow.
You're right. With cheese and with garlic, you just go with your heart.
You automatically double it.
Okay. See, I feel like that's going to be a pain in the ass to spread out on top of the cheese.
Nah, we'll be good.
Is that going to be enough guacamole? I'm just do it real thin, I guess. I love the color on that, though. It almost looks like wasabi.
Right, it's just perfect. This
Yeah, like the
green.
pre-made guacamole is only such a like a darker green kind of. I like this color.
wanted to buy the pre-made.
Well, there's a lot of effort making the guacamole.
Oh, it's easy. A little bit of time.
It took 20 minutes to find good avocados at the
That was a
store.
pain in the ass. All right, there's that one.
Now what? And that's the right amount of sour cream it called for, was 16 ounces.
The
So,
whole thing.
I mean, yeah,
Nice. That's a lot of sour cream.
everybody loves sour cream, dude.
All right, so there's the sour cream.
Okay.
I'm thinking peppers next.
Peppers next? Okay. Oh god, look at that. Still kind of hot. Hopefully it doesn't like melt.
Sorry, all of it?
I mean, where'd that spatula go? Or give me the guacamole fork, just kind of. Because they're kind of piled up, you know, so we just want to. But I think that looks good right there. I don't know, do you think we need more? I think that's probably good.
That's good.
Yeah, okay, now what? Now the tomatoes and.
Tomatoes. Let's get the tomatoes.
Oops. I like tomatoes, so. We got all that juice in there.
Juicy tomatoes.
They smelled good when you were cutting them, so hopefully they're good. Get some of these green onions up in here. Okay, so the camera battery died, so I don't know where we were at, but we were spreading the tomatoes, the green onion. Well, first we did the peppers, and then the tomatoes and the green. I think we have enough green onions. What do you think? And then we want to just put a layer of cheese on top?
Yeah.
And here it is, our assembled 8-bit Super Bowl of dip. Also, I just want to remind you, if you want to see the Tecmo Bowl segment of all of this, make sure to check out the video on my second channel, the RA2 channel, and I'll also put a link to it down in the description below.
All right, so the dip has chilled. Kind of hold it up here. Hopefully you guys can see that. So we're gonna try this out. Get a. I feel like.
Pass me that Super Bowl.
Yeah, we got our. We gotta pass the Super Bowl of chips here. Okay, this is like. That's got some of everything.
I'll go bite.
Yeah, this is This is gonna be a mess.
Oh, really good.
It's really good.
With the meat.
I'm gonna get the camera in there. Okay, dig in. Look at, you can see the layers. Oh my gosh, that's so good. What do you think? What do you give it?
It's Tom.
You got food in your mustache.
Two thumbs up.
All right, so let's
I'm so glad we didn't use the olives.
let's enjoy this dip that we created for the big game
Big game coming up.
with our Super Bowl of chips. And our 8-bit Super Bowl of dip. It's 7-layer dip with a little bit of added pizzazz. I think it's
Extra
fantastic. Let's play some Tecmo Bowl. You're gonna lose.
No. Never.
Want to see your name here? Head on over to patreon.com/retailarchaeology to find out how you can help support the channel. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out this quirky little big game video where we checked out Food City and made a awesome dip. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And also don't forget to check out Mark and I enjoying the dip and playing Tecmo Bowl over on my second channel, the RA2 channel. As always everyone, thanks for watching.